obviously had a response, and he posted, "Yep, I predicted this 6 years ago. Female desperation is right."
Manuel Tomasi had an episode where we talked about this shit.
And I'm here for it. Now, first of all, before we get into the rest of his reaction, I feel like Myron is intentionally slanting this, like women are showing up in droves and freaking out and being so anxious and in anguish, but I don't know if a dating event with 15 women and 5 men is really a great representation. And those
it is, and I'll tell you why. I've shown other events where women go to these speed dating events and to these, mixtures and all this other bullshit, and men almost never show up. Men almost never show up. Okay? We have women literally complaining when they're at clubs saying that no one's hitting on them. So this has been a rise over the past couple of years. There's been an uptick at social events with women leaving disgruntled, not getting attention, Brett. Now, of course, Brett's not going to pay attention to this that much because she's a married woman. She's a female. She's in her 20s. She has no grasp of how the sexual marketplace really works, And let me give her a little bit of credit. She's trying. She's trying, right? Most girls her age have zero fucking clue about any of this shit, okay? I'll give her credit that she's trying. But just because she's trying doesn't mean that she's not completely fucking wrong. She's completely wrong. Because this event, right, that they're talking about the New York Times with 3-to-1 ratio, this is a microcosm of a bigger fucking problem that Brett isn't addressing, which is simply that women have become insufferable thanks to feminism. Since women have become insufferable, men have a choice to make now. Do I, A, spend the time, money, effort, and resources to court an unruly woman who's not going to obey me, not going to respect me, she's going to come with a lot of bodies, right? She thinks she's equal to me, but at the same time, I am on the hook to still be a man. So in other words, she can forego all of her traditional responsibilities while I am still held to my traditional responsibilities. I'm still expected to protect. I'm still expected to provide to a degree. I'm still expected to be a man. But I cannot expect her to be a woman. And to take it a step further, if I expect her to be a woman, it is considered oppression. Especially with these super feminist type women from the Northeast or from liberal cities. So what many men are realizing is, okay, this isn't a fair trade. This sucks. This blows. This is not fun. I'm losing a lot of money doing this. Right? Because the other thing you guys also have to understand is that this is assuming you even get lucky enough to deal with these bitches. A lot of the time, they're going to curve you. A lot of the time, they're going to flake on dates. A lot of the time, they're going to drag you on for 7, 8, 9 dates. I'm speaking from a perspective of your closing. Like, I'm telling you guys that it's annoying even when you fuck them. Do you get that? So you've achieved the goal. You've smashed. They're interested in you, but they're still insufferable. Because the thing is with Brett is that she doesn't understand that this is a fucking journey when you deal with females. The entire process of courtship and getting laid, it's not as simple as people think. Now, here's the other thing too. As a guy that had to learn this shit, I empathize with you niggas that had to deal with the bullshit because I was there. I know what it's like to spend 30 fucking minutes talking to a bitch at a loud ass fucking nightclub on the dance floor, spending hundreds of dollars on fucking beers and shit like that, right? To not get a text back the next day, or to try to set up a date and she goes ghost. I know what it's like to match with a bitch on a fucking dating app, talk to her for like a week or two, set up the date, and she fucking unmatches or she blocks. I know what it's like to cold approach a girl, conversation goes great, you talk to her, try to set something up, no response. I've been there. I get it. I know how frustrating it is. That's why I empathize with you fucking faggots and why I tell you guys women are fucking useless, because I understand what it is. Now, through that pain and the trial and tribulation, I had to figure this shit out. And I found it out. And I'm here to tell y'all niggas, once you figure it out, it doesn't get that much better. It really doesn't. Okay? So what I always tell guys is it's just better to self-improve, make yourself extremely attractive so you don't have to work as hard up front when you deal with these females. Because here's the ugly reality. You either work really hard on the front end because your sexual market value is low and then deal with the bullshit, or you work on yourself really hard up front, deal with less bullshit, but then you're still going to deal with bullshit later on to some degree. But at least in the process of you improving yourself, you can like tell that bitch, get the fuck out of here. Give her the fucking, send that bitch to the shadow room and go get another one. But obviously, Brett doesn't understand all this, right? Because she's a woman. She's speaking from an extremely limited purview of what dating is like for men and how things really are and the entire mating process, right? And how women have changed significantly. Okay?
Those are the actual numbers from the event that the New York Times reporter went to.
15 versus 5. Again, it's a microcosm of a much bigger fucking issue. And she doesn't see it. That guys are waking up.
Like, that is what we're dealing with here. And I also think that women...
Because this ratio isn't just being shown in these, not swingers. These things, these numbers are not just being represented at these events, in these mixtures. This is also starting to happen at fucking nightclubs. Guys, nightclubs and nightlife in general is slowly dying. All across America, clubs and bars are shutting down. Okay? The nightlife industry has taken a huge fucking hit over the past couple of years. You want to know one of the big reasons why? Young men drink less. The alcohol industry has lost somewhere around $830 billion. Okay? Because most guys have realized, if I'm not trying to get bitches, why am I drinking alcohol? And a lot of guys are getting red pilled on nightclubs and nightlife being a fucking terrible way to source females. Okay? Someone said, I still feel like it's popular in South Florida. Yeah, bro. Like, it's South Florida. People come here to vacation. Of course it's going to be popular here. Like, use your brain, dude. Use your brain. South Florida isn't real life or representative of the United States, dude. Like, don't be a fucking retard. Holy shit. I still feel like it's not that bad in South Florida. Nigga, this is a vacation destination. Tell me you've never left Florida or tell me you never have left Florida. Like, come on, man. Use your brain. Okay? Anyway. Young people are not drinking as much alcohol. Especially men. Okay? And let me tell you who funds the nightclubs. The men. Not the women, the men. So, Brett Cooper's dumb and low IQ because she's not looking at all of the different factors and the totality of the circumstances here. So let's go through it real quick. Number one, Gen Zers are drinking less alcohol. 830 billion or something like that, right? Down. Women are complaining all over social media about men not approaching them. 3, women, and this has been a problem for a couple of years now, but it's now becoming like mainstream. I've known about this for a while. Mixers, speed dating events, etc. Women are complaining that not enough men are showing up. 4, the rise of OnlyFans or pornography usage. 5, the explosion of the red pill and manosphere content. Guys like me, Andrew Tate, etc., telling guys how women really behave. Right? 6, female nature being exposed all the fucking time on Instagram and TikTok. Look at the comment section when girls post stupid shit. Niggas are in there roasting them. Another example that red pill ideologies are becoming more mainstream. Right? This Netflix documentary is going to show even more. So what am I trying to say here? Brett Cooper is looking at this New York Times article from an extremely limited purview saying, oh, well, dude, it's not that big a deal because it's 1 to 3. Like, who cares? Like, what? It's not that. You need to look at everything else going on. David Bridle has basically out of fucking business. Bumble. Stock is dropped significantly. Now, Bumble just came out recently. Bumble is going to make it where the men can message the women first now again. Dating apps, 80% of them are men, but they're slowly starting to wear off, and these dating companies are losing money because they're realizing that guys don't want to pay for fucking dating apps. How many more examples do I need to fucking put out there? So yes, if you look at it like it's not that big a deal because this New York Times article is only describing one mixer where it was a 1:3 ratio. That's not the point, Brett. You got to look at everything else going on in the environment. Now look, again, she's some 20-year-old girl that's married that has a family. She's not going to notice shit, right? She's dumb, whatever. But things are significantly more dire than she's trying to lead on. Way worse. Okay?
Are basically doing what they've always tried to do, which is date, and people have been calling women desperate for an eternity. Again, this is not some new phenomenon. Like, a desperate woman is an age-old trope. Like, there were desperate women in Jane Austen novels.
Yeah, not to this degree, though. It's not, it's different because women had all the power and the leverage before, and now they're losing it, is the point.
Were made